You're feeling crazy. You're feeling absolutely insane, and this is why you've clicked on this video. Because you, like me, have mental illness. What? Isn't that wonderful? Got my little sippy, my little drinky. This one's for the boys. Alright, there's nothing quite like the feeling of running from the void. You get into your car at 3 a.m. You're like, I'm gonna drive to the Arizona desert. I'm gonna pack my backpack full of granola bars and obviously Red Bull and a few pairs of underwear. I'm gonna go sipping on that sweet Snapple tea. Duh. You decide that your entire life actually is about to change. And you're so hyper aware of your innate ability to absolve yourself of sin and grind like there is no tomorrow that you decide that you need to make this drive. If you don't have the ability to just wake up one morning and dissociate, go completely off the walls and drive to the Arizona desert, then you can actually just watch these movies instead. That's what this video is about. That your entire existence and the very wavering line at which you walk and the vastness of the global world means nothing. But no worries. It'll simply create a nihilistic, narcissistic experience which will lead to your actions have absolutely no consequences. Your actions don't have consequences when you're in a mental breakdown. That's just how that works, right? Anyways, don't actually tell the government that I'm sharing this with you though, because they will put me in a timeout. But that's fine as long as we just keep this between us. I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, so the first movie that I want to talk about, as we all know, I think everybody in the world can say that they have heard of Notorious Whiplash from 2014, directed by Damien blah 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 blah, with the guy that's in Top Gun right now. You know, not Tom Cruise, the other one. No, the other one. Honestly, if you've been feeling really gaslit recently, like absolutely set on fire, like match lighted up, then Whiplash is gonna feel like a second home to you, or a memoir even. Except the movie's more like, well, imagine you're back in band in school, except it's freshman year of college. Your name is Andrew Neiman and you play the drums. Like, you're really, really good at playing the drums. So much so that like old jazz musicians just like come to the gig and they give you this face. Yeah, you know it well, this face. Yeah, okay, by the way, it is a compliment. J.K. Simmons is so old and so impressed. Actually, Simmons as Terrence Fletcher literally scares all my bodily fluids out of me. He plays the crap out of this role as Andrew's professor / conductor. Fletcher employs manipulative tactic after tactic in order to motivate the drummer to improve. We'd like to call that the girl bossification of jazz band. Yes, we love to see it. Slay 360. And that reminds me exactly of today's special guest. Welcome everybody to the next clip that I'm gonna roll that it's not from today. Enjoy.
Poo. Yeah, hi, I'm Pasquale. I play drums in Cinema Stairquins band.
Alright. So I'm gonna play you a series of clips, and you're gonna tell me your honest, raw reactions to it. It's gonna be really fun.
Whiplash, yeah. I've seen that movie. He doesn't know what J.K. Rowling's about to do to him. Yeah. Alright, yeah, so he's playing traditional grip. Wish I could play jazz. It's actually a thing. I totally wish I could. I mean, I just play pump music all the time, but like that style of drumming is like really cool. And then J.K. Rowling.
You know his name is not J.K. Rowling, right?
It might have been saying J.K. fucking. Oh my god.
I thought you were joking at first, but you were saying you kept saying it.
Conviction behind it too is just like.
Because I don't know, man.
You're saying it so confident.
Yeah. He's trying to play double time swing. Somebody who would have been able to get into like a school like, I don't know, Juilliard or Berkeley, they'll be able to play like intense like swing like patterns like that, like a lot of jazz right hand patterns. Because you have to, just for the entrance exam alone to Berkeley, like you have to be able to play like, I don't know, 6-7 different styles of jazz.
That's kind of insane. Well, I guess this is some good college interview application advice.
Pure toxic masculinity at work right here. Like, he's more like a football coach in a, like, you know, a conservatory, like a place for, like, musicians and artists.
Brutal.
And he's just bringing that big jock energy.
Nice.
Like, he drinks pre-workout before he wakes, you know, he goes to practice in the morning. Name of the movie. They said the name, they did the thing, they said the name of the movie in the movie.
They did the thing. They did the thing.
Points for that.
Does it look like they're playing the drums at all?
They did. They gave a really good effort, and they put in a lot of work, and I really appreciate that about both the actors that were taught to play the drums for this movie. But it's just you could tell.
What would you rate this movie out of 5 stars?
Out of 5 stars?
Out of 5.
Out of 5? I don't know. It's like a 4.5 at least. I don't understand why he's counting in 5, or he's counting in 8, but I don't understand why he's starting there. That's like a dancer thing. Because everything in dance is like a 2-bar phrase, essentially. Like all their movements are like a 2-bar phrase. And so that's why they count in 8, and they'll say 5, 6, 7, 8, because it starts next.
I see.
Bar, but they don't do that in school.
Music?
Like, yeah. Actual music theory, yeah.
Really weird.
Or he could have done it to with them. Which would be even more meta, right? PSA. This is a PSA. A rim shot is when you hit the snare drum in the center and the rim at the same time. A rim shot.
Rim shot? Back to the review. Even worse, Damien Chazelle takes everything into account, trying to make you uncomfortable and deluded. He oversaturates the highlights in every scene, which makes the picture look blown out and very, very transparent. Like the abuse is right in front of your face, clear as day. He colors everything in these contrasting colors, like tense moments seem to be shaded with green. More confident scenes portray Andrew with like orange hues. Neutral scenes seem to be devoid of color in comparison. But nothing compares to the effect that the music has during the runtime, which makes sense, right? This is a movie about jazz band. Alright. The cacophonous sounds of the conservatory studio band will actually put you in a trance, and if that doesn't signal your sleeper cell agent activation, then I don't know what will. I don't know what will. The way that jazz carries throughout the entire movie, the bass grooves that carry the drive, the sporadic sprinkling of drums and snare to create space and intensity, it physically creates a feeling of paranoia and discomfort, like full frontal nudity type of way. But music scores have been doing that since Alfred Hitchcock was born at his family's local grocery store. Apparently, I did have to look that up. He came sliding out past the chips and into the freezer section. Haha. Wah. Sound effects and music seem to have such a hidden talent within movie, and that's why Whiplash impresses me, because being a film that literally centers around music, they had to pull out a score that not only showcased like insane competence, but that could also punch the teeth out of my face. So that's pretty impressive. And if you want to feel like you've been prescribed Oxy, you should definitely watch this too. Next movie, Heathers, 1988, by Michael Lemmon. It's definitely pronounced Lemon. Basically, best thing about this movie, spoiler, young Winona Ryder. Oh! Oh! So, Neurotic Mean Girls was actually the movie's working alternate title, and you can't convince me otherwise of this. Show me all the liner notes, wimp. You won't. Show them to me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Basically, this movie breaks all my boundaries and shows me how to look extremely cute doing it.
Veronica needs something to write on. Heather, bend over.
The whole plot revolves around a group of girls in high school, all named Heather, which, if I've learned anything from Beetlejuice, means they have an infinite amount of power traveling together as a clan. Infinite. The odd one out is Veronica Sawyer, played by my wife, Winona Ryder. Sort of tag along to like their group, you know, the 3 Heathers and then Veronica. Gotta legally change my name now. As early as 2 minutes in, the dynamic of the 4 girls is obvious by some of like Veronica's dream sequences. Absolute yikes. The cliques from high school are harshly exaggerated, kind of like Mean Girls. Many movies have done it and they continue to do it today. Whether, you know, it's true or not, these extremes do portray quite a bit. This movie is everyone low-key bullying Veronica and eventually going down and dissolving into her murder sequence. Woo! That's what you get, huh? Huge, 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 huge side note. Alright, this is Winona Ryder's debut role. Little baby Winona. She is tiny. Tiny. She's like this tiny. And if you're a Joyce Byers super lover, then this is an absolute must on your watch list. She's literally at the height of her career, and this plateaus. Have not seen a miss. It's a plateau is a good thing. If you're at that high, and then you just consistently keep being high. Alternately, another great role Winona stars in a little over 10 years later is this movie called Girl Interrupted. It's from 1999, and as of now, it's still on Netflix. I would recommend that one too. So upon watching Heathers, You will get an unhinged amount of chaotic terror and may relive some of your terrible, terrible high school years. So I guess consider that a content warning. Literally, this film was destined to be messed up from conception when they originally requested Stanley Kubrick to direct this dark comedy. Can you imagine that? Can you? Just you know, the guy who made existential nightmares in movies, whether they were about family murder, hyper-intelligent and corrupt AI technology, or being bombed and repressed by society during the Cold War. You want this poor, poor man. You want this poor, poor man to direct your teen drama. I think he's seen enough. I think he's had enough. Give him a break. Although, alternatively, the dark matter in this high school film is extremely heavy and morally questionable. Christian Slater, in particular, plays one of the most manic, insane characters cinema has ever offered, I feel. He basically tricks and abuses Veronica as poorly as her friend group has been doing, specifically with making her forge handwritten suicide and love notes. He sort of passively partakes in these things during the beginning of the film, and you get to see the growth as the runtime increases. So she kind of goes from being like, oh, I'm just doing this because, you know, if my friends jumped off a bridge, I would too. And then you see that maybe she's kind of into it. I mean, I love her. I don't care if she's technically a murderer. You could still call me. My number is...
My son's a homosexual, and I love him. I love my dead gay son.
Become young and insane again. Put on a plaid skirt, knee-high socks, and walk around with one strap on your backpack. Better yet, blow up your high school. No, this isn't real advice. And legally change your name to Heather. That's actually probably the most important thing that you should take away from this video, is that you should legally change your name to Heather. But yeah, honestly, this movie's really great for if you're feeling kind of psychotic and you're kind of like, you know, it'll curb some of those desires that you got going on up in this old noggin of yours. All right, okay. Next movie we got. This is a fan favorite. I know y'all are gonna be really, really, really happy when I recommend this one, because it is The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse from 2019 by Robert Eggers. After watching all those movies in that short period of time, I drove out to the desert and my car actually broke down while I was trying to do a thick wheelie over a sand dune. So I'm stuck here. But I think that's fine. I'll finally get to do some good cardio. Maybe I'll find Aladdin, or better yet, Princess Jasmine. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like and click the subscribe button, because I'm coming to find you. If you don't. Cool, well, I got some scorpions to go be friends with, so I actually gotta head out.